We back. Oh, what's going on with the camera? Holy, what's going on with the camera? Oh, damn. The camera's not happy, guys. What's happening? What's happening? That is... Makes it look like I'm in the freaking Matrix or something. 2 seconds. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on. Right. I think we may have fixed it. Right, let's test this out. Yo. There we go. We're back. Right. A little bit of technical issues. We haven't streamed on YouTube for a long time. We're also live on Kick. We were live on TikTok every single day. We were doing some numbers over there on TikTok. But TikTok, for some reason, likes to ban my streams. How's everyone been? Hope everyone's been good. Different format. We normally do horizontal format. Also, you can see new addition in the office. We have the ceiling mount for the bike right now. We do have a pretty hefty overnight off-road race this weekend. So the idea was mount the bike on the ceiling. Then I've got no excuses as to, like, if I take a short break, why I can't just whip it off the ceiling and go for a ride. So far, technically hasn't worked. What's going on, guys? Nova, what's happening? Glim, what's up? Rexy, what's happening? Bye, Pip. Yeah, we didn't last too long until we had to shoot. So if you are on YouTube, massive love. Hit that like button, I appreciate it. If you're on Kick, welcome. Welcome. So let me just try and see. I'm trying to work out the stream chats here. It's like really awkward because there's more than one stream. Okay, right. See, all right. Cool. Okay, so what are we looking at for today? Well, you can see above my head, if you're watching in mobile format, you can see our bias right here, which is if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Kick, you can see right up in the top right hand corner of the screen, there is a little bias indicator. Now, this bias indicator is our custom indicator, which is completely free. You can get it from our trading view, Pip Surfing Society trading view, which is right here. Again, if you're on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see the logo, etc. If you're on Kick, obviously you can see everything. So head over to our Pip Surfing account, grab your version of the indicator, and you'll know exactly what we're looking at every single day in terms of bias. Now, we had an idea yesterday that we wanted to go long on gold. Now, gold has just been stagnating at this point for a little while. Generally, it's because of the news in the Middle East. Obviously, it's not good news, but generally it means that we're going to see some pushes on gold. Fundamentally, we are bullish on gold. Technically, we're also bullish on gold. So, seeing that push up on gold is going to be, I think, the most probable move. But because things are so tentative at the moment, you know, we've got it's a little bit shaky in the Middle East. It only takes for one thing to come out and it can just change, you know, the outlook of the whole thing. So, in that case, I don't know if we're going to see a push anytime soon or if gold's going to just procrastinate here. I was looking at a 5-minute movement here. So you see that we took out this low and then we've had a reaction. We've had a relatively strong bullish push. Now we've come back into, which you guys will know, the money in area. If I turn this indicator on, the money in area, the green area here, we've come into this and we've pushed out beautifully. Now, I didn't take the trade. It is valid for our MTF system. Let me get my pen 1 second. Out of my little digital, my digital pencil case here. So, as any of you that are long-term viewers will know, I have notoriously bad internet. It's not to do with the internet package we're on, it's all to do with the existing lines and the location of the office. The office is in like a relatively rural area, so they're not in a rush to like push fiber optic or anything like that. So how's the stream looking? Obviously, if you're watching on Kick, if you're watching on YouTube, I'd love to know what it looks like for you. So what we're seeing here in terms of the MTF, okay? So the MTF is our mid time frame. So our MTF. Okay. We're looking for the sweep of this low. And then we're looking at the reaction of that. We know what our bias is. You can see it up in the top right or above my head if you're watching on mobile. So we're looking for this movement to come out and continue bullish. Now, you would be looking for this as your entry point. Now, like I said, I was too busy setting up a stream. I didn't take this trade. But if any of you are in the Discord or you've watched me for any period of time, you will know that this is the point that we're looking to enter from. Or we would have been looking to enter from. You would have set your limit there and you'd looked along that into the highs. Let's change that to green. So the bullish move is showing itself on like the mid time frame. Higher time frame though, nothing right now. We're still looking for that bullish push. We don't have anything, but that's fine. We're just going to mark up what we have, and I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of different formulations in terms of the way that you can begin to comprehend what is going to happen. So remember, one of the biggest things, guys, is that you have backtesting data to back up what you're doing in the market and what you're seeing. Just having speculative view on the market is not going to take you very far. I mean, there are some traders that trade purely based off speculation. I personally don't think that's that good of an idea. So right now, I cannot see any YouTube chats. Now, I believe there are some YouTube chats, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't see any. Frame dropped 30% over the last 2 minutes. Okay, that's not great. That means that we're probably laggy as hell. That's fine. Let's see. Get onto here. Two viewers on Kick. What's happening? Guys, if you are on Kick, say hi. It's my first live stream here on Kick. I am looking to sort of move across to Kick because I think it's a decent platform. TikTok as well, we've been live streaming on, and we're obviously live on YouTube too. Okay, so what is our system? Why is it that I'm here telling you about this system? Why is it that I'm even bothering to go live? Well, at Pip Surfing Society and my job as a whole, I help people get into the correct mindset for trading the market, as well as being on the correct side of the market most of the time. The systems we use are based off of institutional understanding and institutional order flow. I work with a team in the Middle East, in Kuwait City, that is an investment firm, and I gained that position through teaching the now CEO of that company. So the stuff we use and the stuff we teach is based off of real world principles that institutes use on higher time frames and lower time frames. So we devised the system based off of this. Now, you can learn this system completely free, top to bottom. We teach it on YouTube. We teach it here on Kick, on TikTok. We teach it everywhere. You can get one-to-one mentoring from me as well. You can get one-to-one mentoring from me completely free if you sign up through Vantage.fx and deposit enough money so you can trade. Simple as that. There is no, I'm going to charge you $1,000. There is no, you have to put in £1 million. Like, it's completely up to you. It's a completely free and open account. You know, there's no obligatory stuff with it. As long as you have money to trade with, that's the main thing. So, again, I don't condone just jumping into the market and trading. That's not the way that we do things. But what I do recommend is getting yourself a good backtesting software like FX Replay. And with FX Replay, growing your data pool to the point where you have complete confidence in your system. Complete confidence in your system. There is no, is it going to work? Isn't it going to work? It's complete confidence. Cool, right, I see. Right, I see YouTube and I see Kick. Awesome. Right, it looks as if the internet is struggling with the two streams. Should reply to this message. So remember, guys, if you've got any questions, ask me. We will be back on TikTok relatively soon, but for whatever reason, TikTok just love banning my streams. I don't know why, but they do. Oh, God. That is a... that is literally... That sums up being a trader. It's so boring half the time. You're just going to sit and wait around. Okay, so... We are bullish on Euro. We did take out this low here. Now, what you're going to see is we took this low out and there was an entry that was given. This entry was given at midnight. I saw the entry appear, didn't take it because it's not part of the time frames that I'm trading in terms of I'm not trading at midnight. There was no tap in anyway. It was here. And for anyone that actually knows the system, which I know a lot of you do because I've taught a lot of you for free, you'll know why this wasn't a valid entry. So if you haven't already, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're looking for some long movement here. Now, one of the things that you are going to notice is we've had these big sell-off moves. Now, this is because of obviously the whole malarkey, you know, hoo-ha that's going on in the Middle East right now. So there is a lot of volatility in the market in terms of fundamentals. I think seeing the push to the upside would be ideal, but the market is kind of stagnant and it's waiting for the next thing. Now, we also today, let me pull this up, have in an hour and 15 minutes a hell of a lot of red folder news. So this as well is something why the market is sort of stagnant, if you were. Doesn't mean that there won't be positions before, it doesn't mean there won't be positions after. But generally, when you have quite a lot of high impact news events coming, the market tends to stagnate around and sort of chop back and forth a little bit. This is gold chart. No, this is GU. This is the gold chart right here. But it's a similar thing. We're talking about the market stagnating and price sort of chopping around within here. We are looking for that bullish move out of here. Now, like I said earlier, we have had a 5-minute entry that was given from this area. Remember, you can learn my system completely free, top to bottom. If you join the Discord, I'll tell you exactly how you can do that. Make sure you get yourself some coffee for the day, guys, if you're a coffee drinker. So it's such a shame that you can't play music on Kick and YouTube. Such a shame. Okay, so what are we looking at? What are we looking to do? Well, my mission here isn't to tell you when to go long, when to go short. My mission is to explain to you how the Orion trading system... Oh, look at the writing on it. Let me do it in text. How the Orion trading system... Okay. How this trading system is going to give you the cleanest cut and understanding for trading within the market. Now, it's not a 100% miracle hit rate system like a lot of these people claim. It's not a trade every day kind of system. What it is, it's going to give you 3 clear points before you even get involved with anything. It's then going to give you 2 clear points once you've confirmed the 3 points above, and then it's going to give you your executional. Now notice this. Notice how this becomes a pyramid, and it funnels what you're doing into the market into a precision point. Now, what it takes away is the discretionary points within the market, and it leaves you with a refined and defined understanding within the market. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a random pair, or we'll do gold actually. We're going to go to a random point in price on gold, and I'm going to showcase you the exact principle here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let's get a completely fresh gold chart as well. So we don't have any, past drawings to lead what we're looking at or anything like that. Let's go with Oanda. Double check there's no drawings on this. No drawings, that's cool. Right, let's collapse it down. And we're going to rewind to a random point in the market. So we're going to go to... Let's keep going, shall we? Let's go to a higher time frame so we can get back further. Right, let's go here. This is June 2024. Now, we're going to turn off the indicator so you guys get a better understanding, because obviously that would be cheating if we're just using an indicator. So we're going to turn off our bias indicator. We're going to turn off our levels as well. So everything's going to be done manually. You can replicate this and go and test it yourself. Highly recommend it. I love you, sir. Appreciate it, dude. All love, all love. Now, I do apologise if you can hear any ruckus coming from outside, because it is bin day. And obviously, office blocks produce a lot of rubbish, so there's a lot of noise. Hopefully, they'll be gone soon. So we're looking at the market right here. We're going to go to the daily time frame and decide what we're looking at for our daily bias. Okay, so our daily bias is defined by the most recent gap in market movement. This one right here is a bearish gap. So we can decipher this as a potential bearish movement on the higher time frame. Void, what's happening, brother? How you doing, man? Hope you're good, dude. Been a while. Hope you're well. I've been super busy, dude. Super busy, so I do apologise. I will be back and more active in the Discord very soon. So now we're bearish, right? Simple as that, we're bearish. Now what we want to do is establish potential points where the market may decide to move from. Now, how are we doing this? Well, we're defining these little known things which are pivotals. Obviously, pivotals relatively easy. We're defining pivotals. Now, pivotals in the market give you a visual cue as to where people are moving money from and to. Now, I don't just mean people as in like me and you. I mean people in terms of institutional banking, institutional hedge funds, institute as a collective. So taking that into consideration, I see that we are getting some lag, so I do apologise, guys. Good to see you too, Void brother. Hope you're good, man. So we are streaming on Kick as well. If you are on Kick, make sure you say hi. So these are daily highs. So when we have, I wish they'd leave. We do have daily highs and we have daily lows. Now, these points are going to be referred to as reference points. Now, the reason I say reference points is because we're using them to define our understanding on the higher time frame and the lower time frame that we want to trade from a certain point into a different point. Okay, so what this does is it gives our market understanding purpose. It gives our capture of the chart a reason and like context. It gives context to what we're trying to do. So we know that we're short because of the gap we defined. So we're short. Okay. Now, where are we looking to follow that bias from and to? Well, we have 2 points here. We have a high and we have a low. So we're looking to sell that into the lows. Now, we're looking as well to define it on a lower time frame, which would be the 4 hour. Now, on the 4 hour, we're going to look for high volume highs and lows. And at the moment, we don't have any. So we're just going to let this play forwards and show you what happens. Remember, we are looking at the highs and lows here. Okay, so we're starting to run into the highs. Awesome. So what we'd be doing now is we'd be looking for a short move out of here. We'd be looking for price to sell. Now, if it doesn't sell, that's fine. It's okay to be wrong. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. Accept the fact you're going to be wrong a lot of the times in the market. But if you can be right just 40% of the time, you can easily sustain profitability. Family's good, thanks, Void. I hope you're good. Hope the family's good on your end. So there's this really weird sort of mindset that a lot of people that come into the trading industry have, and a lot of people that are in the trading industry have, which is if you have a 50% hit rate, there's no way you can be profitable. If you have a 40% hit rate, there's no way you can be profitable. You only have to be capable of doing like basic mathematics to understand that both of those hit rates are easily sustainable if you're doing more than a 1-to-1. Like, it's not a hard mathematical thing to calculate. It's like a very basic equation. So having that understanding that you can be correct like 4 times out of 10 and still have a decent return is going to be a big thing to you. And many people will say, oh, yeah, that's not high enough. That's fine. We'll go learn a system that's higher. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if you want simplicity, you're going to find it. If you want complexity, you're also going to find it. But there's a reason why the statistic of losing traders is so high, because everyone tries to complicate things to try and squeeze the best probability out of a system. Like with a hedge fund, hedge funds are correct like 40-50% of the time. At best. They're not like every single trade they take they're making money. No, like that's not how it works. So bias is bearish here. We're looking for price to go down. Does it sell away from here? We get a small sell, price pushes up. Cool, we move on to the next bit. All right. I was going to say, if it doesn't reach another bit, we'd expect it to sell higher. There we go. Does it come down to our targets? Yes, it does. Beautiful. So, within, what? I don't know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, on the daily time frame, we were able to define, what? A bias with our direction. We were then also able to define a movement that was going to happen in the market. Okay, I'm not telling you that the entry is going to be 1,000,000% and you're going to win every time. But we came to a random point in price in 2024 and we've established a movement that has happened on the daily time frame on gold. And it's also counter the majority of the movement that happens on gold, which is bullish. So for anyone that's brand new here, that's how easy it can be to define a movement in price. And then it's just understanding where you can actually join that movement and become part of that. Anyone that's been following me for any long period of time, so Void or anyone that's in YouTube right now or in the Discord right now that knows the system and knows me, will understand already how simple it can be to do that. Like, you can just cherry pick some insane moves out of the market. So 1 second, guys. Let me just 10 people watching. What's happening, guys? Big love. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Dude, my internet is so bad right now. So bad. Okay, so welcome, Daniel. Yeah, so the system is Orion. It's a Orion trading system, and it is based around the concepts of simplified Wyckoff, institutional movement in the market, and the principle of price action essentially telling you what it's going to do before it does it. So that's a random point on gold that we were able to define a beautiful daily movement. So I think that's enough of me showcasing back price action. Just a singular hit is enough, surely. If you want to go and test this system, you can. Join the Discord, like Void said. He's happy to answer any questions. I just got a couple messages, guys. What's going on, people? What's happening? What's happening? So we've got 12 people in the lives right now. First YouTube stream in a while. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow along. We've got lots of content. We got lots of content here on YouTube. Check out the Keep It Simple series. You're going to learn the foundations of my trading system. If you want to join the Discord, you can. So let's go back down to 15-minute time frame here. So remember what we said here. We're looking for the 5-minute move, and we saw the beautiful expansion out there. Beautiful move. That's great. So I'm not here to show you. I'm not one of these clickbaity people that's going to be like, I'm turning 100,000 into 1,000,000 in 3 days. Like, no. But I will teach you a concept that you can go away and teach yourself, and you're going to be able to see the results for yourself. Whether you're making $10, whether you're making $100, whether you're making 1,000, 1,000,000, the price is irrelevant, but the long-term consistency is irrelevant. And I've had people, I've had many people before come into my streams and be like, well, how much are you making per day? Why should I listen to you? And it's like, well, how much I'm making, like I say, is irrelevant. I have multiple different streams of income. How much I'm making is irrelevant. But if you're in a position where you're watching people trade live on YouTube, you're probably looking for a system to learn. There's a 17-year-old guy in our Discord that learnt my system in probably a week. And then he's seeing profitable backtesting results every single time he backtests. He's 17 years old with zero market experience. If he can do it, then you can do it. So like I say, I'm not here to show you some demo account and tell you that I'm a millionaire. That's not how it works. That is the mindset of people that unfortunately are going to fall into the pit of unprofitability. That's just the case. It's just the simplistic outcome of that. And like I say, join the Discord. If you join the Discord, you're going to see some of the test results and the curves of the tests that these people are taking. So you're going to see some great data there. And remember, data is king. We're in a money-driven industry, and people try and avoid that you have to be mathematically correct and mathematically accurate to be able to actually see any long-term outcome from this. Cheers, Void. I appreciate it, man. So we are looking here on, let me turn the bias back on so you guys can see. We are looking for some bullish movements on UJ. Now, another thing that is really important to remember is when you have a systematic trading rule set, whether there's something that you think is going to happen or you have a certain feeling towards something, it becomes irrelevant. Why does it become irrelevant? Well, our opinion doesn't have data to back up that it's correct, does it? If you've done a completely opinion-based trading system, maybe it does. But a lot of the time, you don't have that, right? So we have to go with what the data is telling us. And if the data is telling us your system works over a long period of time, follow your system. Doesn't matter what you think. Your emotions hold no value in the market. I use a system called the Orion trading system, my friend. It's built from the ground up by myself and the team at Pip Surfing Society. Completely unique. You're not going to find any system that follows the same principle. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. There may be other systems that follow the same principle, but you're not going to find any that are as easy to follow as this and simplistic as this. And again, I'm not telling you that it's a 100% hit rate. If you have a greater than 3 RR, you can sustain a 50 to 40% hit rate easily. Easily. Right, what we got? So remember what I said earlier, guys. We have 57 minutes until this fat lump of USD news. Fat dump of USD loot. Christ. Oh my God. I'm surprised any of you watching with speech like that. It sounds like I shouldn't even be on a live stream. USD news. We've got a big chunk of USD news. So, like I said before, for any of you wondering why there's a bike floating above my head, that is my enduro mountain bike hanging from the ceiling because I've been trying to get as much training in as possible. So the best idea was get a ceiling mount for it, put it in the office, and then there's no excuses as to why I'm not training before I'm riding. But I've rode a grand total of, drumroll please, 15 miles this week, and it is Wednesday, and the ride is on Sunday, so not so good. For any of you that live in the UK, let me know. There's 9 people in the chat right now who lives in the UK. Just because I'm going to give you guys a little idea of how big this ride is that I'm doing no training with. I've done it before, but I was training relatively rigorously for it. This year, not so much. Aussie, wow, thanks, dude, for the support. I appreciate it. It must be like what? Aren't you like 9 hours difference? I actually had a call from a guy in Japan the other day, and he was like 9 hours difference. So I'd imagine it's similar to that, right? Okay, well, I'll show you the ride from last year when I done it. It's great fun, and I love it. It's great. But I'm already squinting at the... It's 9:30 PM. Oh, okay, so it's not too bad. I'm already squinting at the statistics here. So I'll show you the statistics. So you can maybe see that. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. You see that? So that is a grand total of 3,458 foot of elevation, 60 miles of distance, 7 hours, 9 minutes of riding, average speed of 10 miles per hour, 1,500 calories burnt, and a max elevation of 700 feet. This is off-road and at night, so it's relatively intense. L's in the chat because I think I'm going to be actually suffering. I also weigh 1.5 stone more than I did last time I done it. So I'm not making it easy for myself. You know the worst thing? I'm doing it with my dad and he has an e-bike. So he literally has an electric motor to power his way through. Whereas little old me, I've just got my thighs of steel. So if this is the last stream you hear from me, chat, no, I'm joking. Obviously, it should be great fun. There is lots of like, I say lots. There's 3 individual like pit stops where there's like full on catering and stuff. You can have food and drinks and all that kind of thing. But I think you just get so like into the movement of it where you don't want to stop and fill your stomach up. Fair effort, yeah. I mean, it was a fair old slog last time, but it's worth it. You know the worst thing about it? The worst thing about it is the fact that after sort of like 6 hours of riding, you know, you're relatively fatigued, you've been off road, the sun's starting to rise, and as the sun rises, excuse me, you get to this part of the track, or not the track, but you get to this part of the ride, and it is the biggest uphill climb you've ever seen. So you're exhausted, the sun's coming up, so you're at like your peak fatigue, and then you've got to do the biggest part of the ride. It was that big that I couldn't even get traction. I just had to push the bike up. But that's why the old buzzaroo is hanging above my head. So let's go to the goal chart again here. So you'll see this here, that there isn't actually, or there wasn't actually, there was lows. This one wasn't taken out, and then this one also wasn't taken out. So we've got a relatively large pool of liquidity sitting here. Now, I don't think we're going to get into this pool, to be honest. I think we're going to keep expanding up. We're going to take out these highs. That's what I think we're going to do. I think we're going to take out those highs. So 2 viewers on Kick. Make sure you give us a little follow. I'd appreciate it. We have 0 followers on Kick. If you're here on YouTube and you do have a Kick account, a little follow would be absolutely amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. Do you know the funniest thing is, like, all of the top viewed streams on Kick are just women with their boobs half hanging out. They have like the most like up angled camera you've ever seen. I'm like, I wonder why they get so many views. Do you teach your system somewhere premium, or that's going to be on your Discord? So I teach a lot of the concepts and the core principles on YouTube, on live here, on TikTok. I teach a lot of it. You can, if you're willing to put in the time and look into the information that I give for free, you'll be able to learn the whole system within like a week, 2 weeks. Obviously, if you want to learn it more accelerated and have like that catering in terms of like, let's say like you have a question that you want me to answer. If you want to be taught one-to-one, you can obviously directly become part of the mentorship. Again, I don't ever tell you that you need to do that. That's one thing that anyone that knows me will know, that I don't ever say that you have to. Like, I'm not one of those people like, you have to pay me £300 a month, join my Discord, and then I'll teach you everything you need, and you get like one lesson a week. Like, no. If you want to pay me for one-to-one mentoring, cool. That's no problem. If you want to fund yourself an account with Xauusd and join the free mentorship, you can. If you want to join the free sessions that we host in the Discord where you don't have to do anything, you can. If you want to just learn it off of the YouTube content, you can. So there's many different ways you can learn the system. Some of them are going to be harder work than others, of course. It's one of those things. If you give everything away completely free in one, just imagine I'd done one singular video where it was just the whole system top to bottom, it would be worthless. The whole thing would be worthless. What would the point be of me giving away a system that you can backtest and be profitable with instantly without any tweaks? The value of the content I provide would become pointless, wouldn't it? Like, this live stream would be pointless because you just go and watch that one video, you'd learn it, you'd be cool, mate, appreciate it, and off you'd go on your merry way. So that's one of the things as well with YouTube and TikTok and any any streaming platform, is you kind of have to be a little bit conservative with what you do, because if you just give everything away, your content becomes worthless. And also the problem you have as well is, I would say 70% of people will learn a system, backtest it for like a month, or do like a month of backtesting, go, that ain't that good, and then walk away from it. So what happens there is you get a bunch of people that will take the system, they learn it all perfectly, big tick to them, and they'll backtest, right? So let's say this is 2 years worth of backtesting, and we cut it up into individual backtesting sessions. Some are bigger than others, some are smaller than others, and we'll make it individual backtesting sessions, right? So they do the first backtest and it goes like this, and they go, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then they do another backtesting session and maybe it goes down like that. And then they go, oh, well, like, I'm only up like X amount. But then really, if they keep backtesting, you see it grow over time, and it continues on into a pretty decent, consistent curve in an overall gain, right? But 80 to 70% of people don't ever make it past this stage, so they live in the land of the system doesn't work. Whereas the people that really commit and put the time in will see the growth over a longer period of time. You have to remember that a singular backtest is a small snippet of an overall movement. So a great example of it would be like us doing this. It would be like us looking at the gold market like this. When you look at that, you go, oh, gold's going down, man. Gold's going down. Has to go down. Like, you're looking at this little snippet here. You go, oh, look, it's going down. And then when you actually zoom out and you look at it as a collective, you look at it as a much bigger thing, you begin to realize that actually that's just a short-term move down in an overall upwards moving market in this case. And the same thing's going to happen with a profitable system if you backtest it consistently. There is no such thing as exponential growth. Well, there is, but just not in the case of a trading system that's going to give you consistency across a long period of time, especially when you're doing low risk. So, for example, let me pull up one of our students. Now, this is where is he? Thriving Daily. Now, Thriving Daily is 17 years old. Why is there a fly flying around like it's some sort of funfair in here? Jesus. Let me show you right here. If I can even find it. Okay, so here. This is the back test of a 17-year-old that has learnt the system completely free, has never paid me a single penny, he's never paid me a dime, not a single thing. He didn't even pay for the backtesting software because his brother already had it. Now this is 99 trades. He has a hit rate of less than 50%. Look at the way, see here, losses 54, wins 43. I'm not sure what the actual hit rate is, but it's less than 50%. Have a look at that for a growth curve, right? So if we chop this out and do the same thing that I said to you before, so like this. Now, how much risk do you think he's using to make, what is that? That's like 14%. To make like 14, 15%, how much do you think? Actually, it's more than, it's like 16, 17%. How much risk do you think he's using? 1/4%. 1/4%. So you don't have to be high risk. There's no, you don't have to be high risk. So look at this. Explaining exactly what I was talking about. Oh, that's tiny. So people look at that and they go, look at this, nothing. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. All of a sudden it becomes a beautiful curve over a long period of time. Yeah. So it's really important to look at trading as a long-term data collection and not just something that is going to be instantaneous win. Data is king, and it always will be. So if you haven't already joined the Discord, make sure you join the Discord. If you haven't already hit that like button, make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate it. 6 people in here, 4 likes on the stream. The maths ain't mathing. Alright, so if you can see, if you can get a 17-year-old that's doing that after like 2 weeks of studying the system, you can do it easily, putting in the same amount of time, if not more. Market's so stagnant right now. Holy. Holy. Yeah, you know that, dude. Yeah, gold's just sitting around. Said hi. What's going on, man? Hope you're good. After today, data will become shoot the rocket? Just remember, if you are watching on YouTube, head over to Kick and give us a little follow. I appreciate it. First stream on Kick today. Just going to take a short break, guys, and I'll be right back with you. Let me just put a little notice on the screen. Let's get here, right? Does that come up properly? Let's see. Oh, high or down like a rocket? It's hard to say, dude, to be honest. I don't like to speculate on news, to be honest with you. I'm bullish on it. The system says we're bullish on it. I think we're going to see bullish movements. At the moment, we're just stagnating. So these are the targets. You can see the target highs here and here. You can see the points that we're looking to trade from. Everything's there. But we're just waiting for this news event. We've got 40 minutes. So I'm not going to be taking any trades before the news, to be honest. I would recommend you staying out of the markets just to be safe. It's really not worth fucking with news, to be honest. Don't be a gambler, be a precision trader. Right, I'll be right back, guys. Big up. Yes, yes. Goody gosh. Oh, yeah. Okay. What are you guys saying? You prefer the horizontal view or you prefer, sorry, vertical view or horizontal view? So we've got nothing right now. Nothing right now, which is fine. It's fine. Learn to sit on the sidelines. Learn to be a spectator. And then when it's time, you can jump in and be involved. When it's time. Right now is not the time. The Discord's there. We got students in there already showcasing the system. Make sure that you are putting in the work to see the outcome. So welcome everyone that's just joined the Discord. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see there's like 5 of you. Del, Scary Ninja, Mendez, Jeffrey, Benny, Studio Trader. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome every single one of you. If you are watching on Kick, make sure you give us a little follow. I appreciate it. Okay, news coming soon. 33 minutes till news. Don't know about the view. Not too sure about it. We could do horizontal. I mean, may I know how long in Forex market and this is full time? This is full time, dude. Yeah, I've been trading for near on like 5 years. I would say it's probably more like 4 years, to be honest. I used to work for British Telecom. I worked there for 10 years. I quit my job there to do this full time. And like I say, I'm not just some random dude. Like, I work with an investment firm in the Middle East. I have, if you've got LinkedIn, which I know a lot of people have LinkedIn, so give me a little follow on LinkedIn. Let me boot it up 1 second. I just hit 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. You see my ugly mug on there? 1,030 followers now. 2 seconds. Here I am, look. Old Cheesemeister. Just hit 1,000 followers. Nesab Investments, the company I work with. And you can see, obviously, that's my ugly mug. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, you can. Give us a little follow, appreciate it. If you want to see like more of the professional criteria stuff, then go to LinkedIn. So Kick is a new platform for us. We haven't actually done any Kick streams yet. This is the first one. Yo, thanks for the subscribe. Appreciate it. I don't know why that was so overly sized. Let me make that smaller. That was absurdly large. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Or the subscribe. Yeah. I've been streaming on TikTok a lot lately, and obviously they do follows, don't they? So remember, just because you're watching me live doesn't mean that we don't have other content. We do have a lot of videos already on YouTube. You can go and watch those. Watch the Keep It Simple series. The Keep It Simple series is the foundational understanding to the system that we teach. There's no validation DM from your bot though. You're not the first person to say that, dude. Is your name Studio Trader? If so, I have validated you. If not, tell me your Discord name and I'll get you in there. So it's starting to be a little bit warmer in the UK. It's quite nice. It's been like 20 plus degrees the last few days. It's actually been decent. It's been decent. You know, the thing is, every year it gets to like this kind of... It gets to this kind of like time of year and it gets scorching hot. It gets scorching hot and you have like this sort of heat wave, and I'm always like, oh, we should get an AC unit. But then I know full well I'm going to buy an AC unit and it'll be raining next week. It won't even be hot anymore. So I know that a lot of countries having an AC unit is just like standard, isn't it? It's just like a standard thing. So remember, guys, hit that like button if you appreciate any of the time that I'm giving you guys. If you appreciate any of the content, hit that like button. Remember, ask away. I'm always happy to answer questions. I'm just taking a little skim through where the market's at the moment, because we do have high impact news coming in like 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes, like 30 minutes. So I'm trying to just assess potential movements. They honestly all look pretty clean cut. Like this, right? So like Euro. Euro looks like it's in a great area to expand back up to the highs again. So we're looking for like dollar weakness coming out of the news event. From here, nice expansive move up into these highs. Gold, I believe, is going to do a similar thing. GU, I also think, is going to do a similar thing. Let's have a look. Let's pull up the COT data and see what the institutes are doing. Okay, so currencies. Okay, so British pound to the euro. British pound to the euro, we have I'll pull this across to here so you guys can see it too. So this is the COT data here. And you have, if we hover over this, it tells you what's what. So you can see here, right? Commercial speculators, we're not bothered about that. We want to see large speculators. So when you look at this, you can see what people are doing in terms of the big banks and the big institutes. The what data? COT. C-U-T. Not C-U-T. I can't even spell. C-O-T. C-O-T. Not anything else, Daniel. Okay? It's not that kind of stream, dude. And then you can see that they're selling more than anything. So they're increasing their short positions on the British pound to the US dollar. The British pound to euro. And then you can see here as well that got asset managers, leverages, other funds. So we don't want intermediary. We're not bothered about that. We're more interested in your green here and leverage funds. This is like your hedge funds, asset manager. Okay, so again, green. What are they doing? Now you can see that the asset side of things, they're starting to buy up a little bit more here. And then we have a little bit of selling from the believe that's the, is that assets under management? Leverage funds. So that tells us that when it comes to the British pound to the euro, so right here. So when we come to the British pound to the euro, okay, so this is euro to the British pound, so it's the opposite. And you can see the chart is doing exactly that. So if we swap it around to British pound to euro, see how it's selling down? And what did we say earlier was happening with the COT data? When we click on this, what are they predominantly doing? You can see how painfully slow my my internet is here. Can you just open, please? Oh, that worked. British pound to the euro. Okay, right here. What did we say that they were doing? They're predominantly selling. Here, they're predominantly selling. So it lines up perfectly with what the COT data is telling us. So we can apply that to some of the other currencies. So we can do euro to the British pound, which is the actual chart that we had up earlier. So go here. So what would we expect Institute to be doing? We'd expect Institute to be buying up. Notice how above my head the bias says bullish. The same thing, right? So we'd expect this to be buying up. Let's pull up the COT data chart again. Okay, let's turn off the commercial and the small speculators. And what have they been doing? They've been buying it up. Yeah, so it's the same thing. You can use this to back up, okay, well, Institute is more likely buying this up. So the probability is the longer term move is going to be continued to buy instead of trying to short it, right? So we can go to like euro pound or something like that. Let's have a look. Not euro pound, euro US dollar. Euro US dollar. So, something I will tell you straight away, my friend. Appreciate the question, by the way. Is don't ever try and focus on making $50 a day. Don't ever do that. What you should do is learn a system like Orion, and then from that, collect data. Once you've collected data, you can work out how much capital you need to how much you're going to make over a given period of time. For example, a month, a week, a year, whatever. Every day is going to be different. The chance of you being able to sustain a daily target with a tiny account is like relatively low. So I'm not saying don't do it, and I highly, recommend setting yourself goals, but don't set yourself a daily profit goal, because what's going to happen is you're going to begin to hunt trades that aren't there, which is going to lead you to inconsistency. So leveraged funds, we will keep that on the chart. Asset management, we'll get rid of that, and then other reports. What are they doing? So what are they doing here? What's Institute doing? Buying. This is a legally required document, by the way. Institutes and trading, or not trading institutes, but institutes that are moving money legally have to declare what their positions are and what their interest is in a currency. So you can see that euro to the US dollar, they are buying it, and they continue to increase their buys the further we go into the highs, right? So go back to our charts. Euro British pound, euro US dollar. What is our bias? Our bias is bullish. What are we looking to happen here? We're looking for buys. So we are on the right side of the institutional bias. We're also in a good place for a long move to happen. But like I said, nothing has been given to us directly. today, which is unfortunate, but not every trading day is going to be not every day is going to be a day where a trade is offered. Every day is a trading day. Yes, that is correct. But you're not going to be involved in the market every day. Unless you're scalping, then you'll probably be able to trade every single day. So remember, guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it massively. Even if you're just learning some basic stuff, all the love is appreciated. If you want to share the stream, big love. Follow the TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube. All loves. Now, I'm actually listening to some great music right now, and I wish I could share it with you guys, but we'll get copyright struck. So we've got 19 minutes. So let's go to British pound to US dollar on the COT data and see what that's telling us. So British pound. So does anyone want to take a guess as to what we think the Institute is probably doing with this pair? Because I know what a lot of people are probably trying to do. They're probably trying to sell it. I believe, because my system tells me, that we're going to see a bullish expansion here. Excuse me. So let's have a look at the COT data, shall we? I hate the fact that it resets every time. Okay, so let's go here. Get rid of commercial, get rid of small. Look at what they're doing. They're buying it up. Now, on the lower chart, the report is slightly different. So we'll get rid of this and we'll get rid of other reports. But you'll notice the general theme. They are pointing in the same direction. They're starting to buy again, and they're buying up above the neutral level. So they're actually adding long positions. So that tells us probability of this going long is higher. Now, of course, it's going to be dictated by fundamentals because we've got news coming. But the more probable move is long. Ooh, excuse me. Ah. So remember, guys, the Discord link is there for a reason. Use it. It's there for a reason. Use it. So if you're wondering where I'm getting the COT data from, that is barchart.com. Barchart.com is where we're getting the data from. I'll show you it here. Barchart.com. Yeah, you can find your way to the commitment of traders section. What do you mainly use in the Orion system? Oh, what time frame? Sorry. I think there's a bit delay in chat. So there's 3 time frames. So for anyone that knows their astrology, you'll know that Orion, the star system, has 3 main stars. That's where the name comes from. So it starts off daily time frame. As I'll show you now how we've got the bias on GU that we've got, right? Now, you're good, dude. You're good. Don't have to apologize to me. Okay, so we're finding our most probable daily movement, and that's based off of momentum. So we have a gap right here, which tells us momentum is up. Okay, now remember, the stuff that I'm showing you is based off of a lot of data collection, working with institutional firms in the Middle East, and my own understanding of price action and the concepts that ultimately are sort of thrown around like confetti in the YouTube, Instagram space. We've got a bullish movement here, so it means the probability of seeing a bullish move is higher than the probability of seeing a bearish move. So that's our daily time frame. Then we're defining points within the daily time frame that become relevant for us. Why are they relevant? Well, it gives us an area that we can look to trade from and to. So notice something, what we've already done. We've established what our bias is, so the direction we want to trade in. Then we've established 2 points, one to trade from, one to trade to. So we're giving our bias reason, we're giving our bias purpose, we're giving ourselves an area to focus on to capture a particular move in the market. We're not just trying to catch the trend, we're not just trying to catch the bottom of the move. So then we come down to the 4 hour time frame. Okay, did we run that low there? I think we did. Did we run that low? 341. Let's see, 341. We did. We ran it by a point. We ran it by a point. So there could be an entry here that I didn't even notice. No, there wasn't. That's fine. So anyway, we're on to the 4 hour time frame now. And then we're doing the same thing. We're adding relevance to our chart, right? So in this case, we had these two lows, which sat relatively close to the higher time frame low that we marked. Also, if you're on YouTube watching this on like mobile view, you can head over to Kick and you'll see the full screen, so you'll be able to see everything that I'm doing. I'm trying to keep my best, to centralize it for you. So from here, we have the same thing. We want to trade from this area up into the highs. It's giving our bias purpose. Then we go on the 15-minute for our entry time frame, and we're looking for volume, indication that institute are getting involved, and then we look to follow that. So it's the same as the long that was given on gold on the 5-minute here. You see the way that we ran this low. We took it out. Then we had an entry area given, price pushed away beautifully, and you pretty much you'd be out already. I didn't take that trade, but yeah. That's the basis of it. So it's 3 time frames, daily, 4 hour, 15-minute. That's the core conceptual time frames, but we do have 2 other variations of it that you can sort of mix and match in. And there's obviously a lot more intricacies to it. That's not the whole entire system. There is a few other things to it as well. But that's the core foundation of it. Right, we have 12 minutes to news. I'm going to take a quick toilet break. I'll be back in literally 2 minutes, and I'll see you all then. What up? Of course, Daniel, no problem at all, dude. 9 minutes till news. It looks as if we may have to stick to streaming on one platform. My bandwidth just can't hack it. It just can't hack it. So what we can do as well is we can start looking towards potential areas that price may spike to for news. Now again, this is more for research, if you were. This is more for like understanding what the news movements are going to do, rather than actually taking the trade, because like I said, we don't want to be trading through news. Trading through news is a risky game. It's not really something that's, in my opinion, unless you're a fundamental trader, it's something you want to avoid. It's not worth, fucking around with it. So the main thing is to focus on what are we seeing? What are we seeing right now? Well, if we're looking at the market, where is the volume? If we turn the volume indicator on, where is the volume? You're seeing volume coming into this low. You can see that price action itself has come down very abruptly and stopped. So we know there is probably a lot of stop losses under here for people that are buying in these sections, right? So there is a chance we could see a spike and then a push up. That is a very probable idea that could happen. I don't recommend buying it or selling it anytime soon. Just wait. Just wait. Be patient. We've got 7 minutes till news. Patience. So we've got 7 people in the YouTube right now. We've got 4 people in the Kick. If you could hit that like button, hit that follow button, I'd massively appreciate it. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow if you're on Kick. Much love. Appreciate it all. So let's see, right. 6 minutes till news. Does anyone have any questions? Anything they want to ask? I will be wrapping this stream up after the news, so around 1:30 we'll be finishing it. I went to Center Parcs for a week last week, and I've had this smartwatch. It's only a cheap one. It's like a it does heart rate and all that kind of stuff. It costs a couple £100, and I've had it for like ages. It's one of those things where it's like I don't need to change it. It's fine. I've never scratched the screen once. Went to Center Parcs for a week. Scratch right down the middle of the screen on the Rapids. Classic. Always the way, right? 4 minutes till news. Look at gold right there. So that 5-minute entry would have been crispy. That would have been a crispy entry right there. So it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, would have been valid. It's valid. It's valid like DJ Khaled. So market's just stagnant right now. Oh gosh. God damn. You're going to find yourself doing that a lot. Once you begin to understand the principle that you're not going to trade every single day of the week. You're not going to trade every minute of the day. The 5-minute chart here. We'll go back to Euro actually. Happy to have a look at YouTube videos, but what makes the area and the entry on the 5-minute? Okay, show you. So, keeping in mind the principles that I've taught you already, when you have a bias, you have points of liquidity, right? Now, every point of liquidity is a pivotal high or low. Now, you're looking for pivotal lows to be hit, so you can see price travel higher. Now, you can see here is a pivotal low. We took that pivotal low, and then when we go to the 5-minute, so we're using the hourly and 5-minute for the same principle. Let me rewind it. You see, we hit it. And then we're looking for momentum. How do we define momentum? By seeing inefficiencies and gaps within the market. Play it forwards, play it forwards, play it forwards. Beautiful big gap telling us there's momentum. You would set your limit order on the edge of here. Your stop loss would go slightly below the low that took the liquidity, so this low here. And then you would target the nearest hourly point of liquidity, which would be this high right here. So it'd be right there. Yeah? And then that's the trade you'd be in. And then you'd be out at the high. So it's close. It's close. But that's the basis of it. Super simple. It's like the simplest system you will find. So remember guys, if you haven't already joined the Discord, make sure you do. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube, make sure you do that as well. If you haven't already followed along on Kick, make sure you do the same thing. Cool. No, you're good, Daniel. Ask away, bro. Ask away. Honestly, the engagement's good. I like the engagement. I'd rather... This is why I like TikTok, because TikTok, people are constantly in the chat. Like, constantly in the chat. So what happens is, I don't have to constantly think of things to say. I'm, like, always interacting with chat, which then causes other people to interact. It's like a domino effect, you know? Whereas I feel on YouTube, people are more content just watching. So it makes it a lot harder for me as a creator to make interesting live streams, because there's only so much you can say about a market that isn't giving you entries. You know? If you're getting entries, awesome, but we don't take entries every single day of the week. So it's like, what do you say about a market that's already moving? You know? You just say, oh yeah, this is good. And then it gets to the point where you end up just teaching everything in one session, but then you repeat yourself because other people come and join, people come and go. So, you know, it's good to have that. So I appreciate the engagement, dude. Do not hesitate to ask questions. Okay, news is in. Or it's not in, but it's close to being in. It's in. Have we got the results of everything yet? Wow, my internet is bullet speed. Right, let me just get rid of that and boot it back up. Great. Okay, let's just go Euro. Okay, nothing actually going on right now. It's so slow. So slow. Okay. I'm getting a ton of alerts telling me that my stream is slow. My stream is lagging. I do apologise if you are experiencing any lag during this live stream. Do apologise. Okay. News was pretty underwhelming, to be honest. We are trying to load the news event up, but it's just not working. Let me see what we've got here. Gonna load now? How? I don't understand how I'm not able to load it. Hang on. Okay. Right, so we can't actually see the outcome, which is a pain in the ass. Let me have a look actually on Financial Juice. Okay, so we had jobless claims up by 3,000. US housing starts actual forecasters 1.35 mil. And it come out at 1.392 mil, so that's higher. I think that's it. Yeah. Also, is anyone staying up to date with the conflict in the Middle East? Because Iran's supreme leader to the US, they should know that Iran will not surrender and any US strikes will have serious irreparable consequences. Irreparable consequences. Yeah. I will almost guarantee this has been written like a script decades before it's happening. The US will get involved with this war. I can already tell you that. The US will get involved with this war, and it will cause mass global disruption. I can already feel it. It's gonna happen. Like, I can just feel it. The reason I say that is because the Israelis have every single US politician in their pocket. If you have a look at the... I'm pretty sure it's like IPAC or APAC, not corporation, but the APAC. I don't even know what you'd call it. I don't even know what you call it. Have a look at it. It's AIPAC. Every single major US politician has a member of that company or that entity that pretty much babysits them. Go and look it up. I'm not just ranting BS. So what you've always got to think of is if you've got a nation that is ultimately committing war crimes in more than one country, because what you've got to remember is Israel have nukes and all of the surrounding countries don't. So they're pretty much going around with a gun, punching people and being like, what are you going to do? You know? Because what are you going to do? If someone's got a gun and they punch you, what are you going to do? Nothing. They're doing that to all the other countries. So I can almost guarantee that if you have a country that has political interests in a foreign country, so for example, Israeli politicians and influential members of the government are very well seated within the US government, they will sway things so that they get involved. So I can almost guarantee within the next few days you will see that the US is at war with Iran, and that's going to spike Russia, China, and at that point you're going to have a pretty, not a global conflict, but a pretty large conflict. And the problem is it spans so much space that you can't help but be involved in it, because you have to live on the globe somewhere. So that's my view on it. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the stream right here. I've got a few calls I need to respond to. I've got some messages I need to respond to, some emails, got some students I need to talk to. It's been an amazing stream. First time back here on YouTube. Kick, appreciate you as well. Everyone that's been here on Kick, everyone that's been here on YouTube. All love. Have an amazing rest of your day. Remember, if you want to learn my system completely free, you can do so. Join the Discord. Ask me how you can do that. Give us a sub. Give us a like. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace and love. See you all in the next one. Ciao, ciao.